There is a mystical reality to be known. You could say in many ways it's invisible. Well, it's invisible until it becomes visible, right? There's something mystical about the natural world, and yet it's has a visible element to it. There's something mystical about a human being, and yet there's something visible too, something that can find expression of the mystical. The mystical can be known by us as a human being. In fact, we're made to live in the mystical, to know the mystical, and have that blend with our humanity and with the world in which we live. It's natural for us to tune into the mystical. We're made to do that, actually. We have the equipment. The mystical is discerned, well, spiritually. Well, what would that mean? What does that mean? You can't figure it out with your mind. You don't figure out the mystical with your mind. That's not how this goes. There has to be a heart openness, a heart turned towards the mystery, interested in the mystery, open to the mystery of love, the mystery of the true pattern of the universe, of our life, and of our life with other people. Those things have to be discerned with the heart so that they can come into consciousness and begin to make sense to the mind. The mind can say, okay, I get it. I've got my, guidance. But the guidance has to be discerned by the heart. It's not only a matter of the heart. It isn't just whatever you feel, that's what it is. The heart is a perceptive tool that allows us to perceive the patterns of creation that are relevant for us, that are looking to express through us and find expression in the world in which we live. One of the principles I've been outlining the last few weeks is that all of creation and all of being has a center. It's just the way it is. If you look around at every level of things, there's a center to it. There's a center of government. There's a center to an organization. There's a center of the solar system, of the galaxy, of the cells and the atoms, and then of you and of me. There's a center to us. Something most central, which is who we are, which is being. Everything has a center and being has a center. And in some way, I think for us as human beings, we're looking for the center with a group of people. Like, where is that thing that we're gathering around, that we hold in common, that unites us, that we're all a part of? It can feel good to say, if you're American, oh, we're all Americans. Well, good on some days, not so good on other days. So things about our country can unite us, or a common community, religious or spiritual community. But somehow those things fall short, end up being disappointing, and can end up being a cause for division instead of a reason to come together. We look out at the larger world, and where do we fit in all that? Where's the coherence in it all? And I assume most of us kind of give up on finding that larger coherence. It seems impossible. So we try to create some kind of coherence right where we are. Sometimes the circle is getting closer and closer. But how do we find that with other people? Of course, we have to find it and know it in ourselves. How do we find our coherence together? A lot of times it gets down to, okay, we'll just fight it out. Like, who's going to be in charge here? I got more votes than you did, or people like me better than you, or whatever it is. There's a vying for trying to be the center. Or in some cases, a propping up of someone or supporting somebody to be that. Well, we have that going on politically, very obviously. But those kind of dynamics can happen in any group of people, often do. And like I say, we can make fun of it, and we are pretty funny as human beings sometimes, but then we can also have compassion about the fact that we're looking for our coherence together. We're looking for what's central among us. What is central among us. That's a vital thing for us as human beings and for human culture. The universe is evolving as it should. The solar system seems to be doing okay. At some level, there is order, and there is a center. There is a center to the family of souls that I've been speaking of, incarnate and disincarnate. So we have to know that center, tune into it, the center of our soul family, have to have the ability to tune into that for ourselves and know our relationship to that, and then know who we are as a part of that and as an expression of that most central reality. That's a matter of the heart, is it not? Yes, spiritual discernment, but the spiritual discernment doesn't come without a heart turned in that direction and open to it, interested in it, giving of oneself, perceiving what is there, perceiving one's own relationship with the family of souls and the center of that family. Knowing oneself as a cherished member of the soul family. So as you and I know that for ourselves, and we live and embody the essence of that to our highest, we allow that love to come through us. We speak in that way for the center of the soul family. We're an ambassador of that, an emissary of that.